Manchester Airport City project is the first airport city in the UK and likely to be the only city in the airport city in the UK for some considerable time. That's mainly due to the fact that the London airports are unlikely to develop the concept for a variety of reasons, particularly Heathrow being constrained by land and the need for it for aviation purposes. And Gatwick and Stansted being relatively rural in their locations. You really need an airport over 15 to 20 million passengers to develop an airport city, and most of the other airports in the UK, apart from the ones I've mentioned, are all below 10 million passengers, so it's going to be some time before they'd be able to develop the concept. It's an airport city model that's well researched. Spent 5 years looking at different airport city models throughout the world. There are airport city models in the Far East that are literally about building whole new cities and creating the new links between the airport and the city centre. We've followed more of a European model where the airports are relatively mature, they've developed over a number of years, and there are levels of constraint involved in being able to develop out the airport due to the land issues in Europe being considerably less land available than it may be in the States or in the Far East. We've got 160 acres to develop out as part of Airport City. There's a wider enterprise zone that's about 300 acres. So we're the main part of the enterprise zone area. Well, the government, when they defined the new enterprise zones last year in the budget, chose to look at areas where there was potential for those areas to be successful. The first round of enterprise zones in the 1980s were, generally speaking, in areas of failure and were about big tax breaks to be able to move those areas and get development into them. Many people think that they failed because they were actually in areas where there wasn't actually a requirement for people to want to locate, so they ended up being a lot of vacant buildings created. The new enterprise zones and the reason why Manchester was chosen by the Greater Manchester authorities was that they saw the Manchester Airport City proposition as being the one most likely to be able to create A, the rate benefit to the local area, but B, also the employment benefits to the local area. So we're looking at 20,000 jobs being created in the enterprise zone area over a 20 to 25 year period that the enterprise zone is operating. We're open for business. We've launched, George Osborne launched the Enterprise Zone and the Airport City project in January of this year, having announced it the previous year. We are there with land that is available for development now. We're in the market. We are talking to occupiers right across the asset classes of offices, hotels, advanced manufacturing and logistics. The long-term aim is clearly to put a structure together in order for us to develop Airport City out with a partner. That will be a long-term partnership, as I say. They're likely to be in place, that partnership, by the end of the calendar year, early the following year. Some of the challenges relate to just looking at the sort of the scale of the opportunity and linking it in with the need to provide space for the growth of the existing airport as well. The lack of available land when we first went through that process meant that we couldn't promote the proposition publicly for a 3-year period, really, when we were acquiring additional land areas around the airport site, to give ourselves, as the airport and the City Council and the districts that own the airport, the ability to control the land areas around the site. So that's probably one of the key features that we had to overcome early on in the process.